Sanela here is going to walk us through, for training purposes, the basic instructions we give patients that are involved in the patient's care during the course of the infusion, the 4-hour ketamine infusion. And we have volunteered here a future medical assistant, right?
That's right.
And over here we have the patient, okay, Brittany. Did I say that right? And Mom's over here, okay? So let's start with this. You know, one of the things we have here, we have our monitor going, okay, and right now she's running 97 for her saturation. We get up close, we get those numbers. 97 for her saturation, and her blood pressure is 111/67, and her pulse up there's that little green thing which says 67 on it, okay? So Sanela, you tell us what you have to tell these patients since they're going to be in the room at the time.
Alright, every 15 minutes her blood pressure is going to be recorded. It's already set on automatic, and this is the log for today, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in the time. And you're going to record the oxygen saturation, which again is right here, and it has to be maintained 95 or better. And that's important for several reasons. One, first of all, if she does go below 95, you just tell her to take 2 deep breaths. So we're going to demonstrate. Can you do 2 deep breaths, please? There's 1 and 2.
So what are you showing them? You're showing
and
what?
then her chest will move up and forth.
Watch the chest move,
yes.
right, and that chest has to move, okay? Why don't they do 3 and 4?
Doing 3 or 4 doesn't really add any extra oxygen, and it does take a while for her to register up on the numbers. It takes a while for her circulation to go through, and what registers down here takes a while to register up here. Okay. So that's very important. If for some reason it doesn't go up, or it goes way below 94 and the deep breathing doesn't work, she may be a little out of it, so you want to tap her on her forehead, like so. And then if that doesn't work, just do it a little harder. If that doesn't work, you go ahead and press that button, and we'll come in here, and Dr. Kirkpatrick will see what's going on. And
now where's the button? Oh, there it is.
Right down there.
You got it down there?
Yes.
Okay, that's the little call button we got down there, all right? And that thing over there, when it goes off, you can hear it all over the building, okay? And you'll get 3 people coming in at once. Why is that? Why do 3 people come in at once?
That's just our policy. We have to come in.
So don't get alarmed.
Yes.
You may even have a simple question to ask us, okay? And that's okay. Now let me ask Doctor. Sanela here. Why don't you take the recordings? Why don't you sit by the bedside? What's the advantage of having the patient's significant other by the bedside in this situation?
The patient's under ketamine, and she's familiar with you guys, and like I said, she may be a little out of it, sleepy, groggy, and there may be a disconnect between what she's hearing, her brain, and the vibration through her ear. So your voice is going to be familiar to her rather than mine. She doesn't know me at all. So she'll respond to you a lot faster, and she'll be less anxious and worried. So that's one of the reasons we have you in here.
Yeah, so in other words, she's going to go into another planet. She's not going to be, she won't know where she is, she won't know what the time of day is, she won't know where the floor starts, the ceiling starts, and just kind of a really unusual sensation. And she may even turn to you and say, "Is that Dr. Kirkpatrick trying to poison me?" And what are you going to tell her?
Oh my darling.
God, no.
Never.
No way.
Their life.
No way.
Make you better.
Yeah, and they can get paranoid sometimes,
Okay,
but the way you get better is by actually putting you in that state of mind, because we're just disconnecting all those neurons on your brain. That's why you don't know where you're at. You're really in a lost world. And if you see Jimmy, you know Jimmy, right? Jimi Hendrix, you see him? Yeah. Say hello for me, will you?
Her father used to play with him, actually.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Holy cow, small world, huh? All right, so she's gone through the whole issue of the saturation, right? So if it's 94 or less, 2 deep breaths, okay? And that's just the way it is. And in your particular case, you're a smoker, and you've got a little bit of extra weight on you. So we know we have to pay a little bit closer attention to you, okay? In that regard. Now, I'm going to be poking everybody's going to be poking their nose in here every now and then, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to come up, and I just want to know if you're feeling okay with ketamine, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to come in and I'm going to say, show me the sign. Now, what's the sign? The sign means, when you show me the sign, it means you're feeling okay with ketamine. You're floating like Superwoman through space, right?
Okay.
So the sign is 2 thumbs up. So let's see 2 thumbs up. All right? Now, why do I do it that way? It's, again, we get back to the whole point. Ketamine makes it difficult for you to think straight. Okay?
Okay.
So I just go and say, show me the sign. If you show me the sign, it means you're okay with the ketamine.
Okay.
With that weird sensation going on. Okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, continue with your training session here.
And then besides recording the oxygen level, you'll also record the blood pressure, which will again register every 15 minutes. So you record it right here. Heart rate is right up here. And the infusion rate will remain 60 unless Dr. Kirkpatrick comes in here and tells you otherwise and moves her up. And then one of the other important things is the level of awareness. That's the part where you guys were supposed to come up with 5 questions.
Yeah, we had like 10.
Yeah, anything that's
Now, did they go over those questions with
Yes.
you? Are they straightforward?
Yes.
They're not ambiguous. Give
No.
me a sample of a straightforward question that doesn't require much thought.
What's my mother's name?
Good, perfect. You got-
Marcia.
How many mothers do you have?
1.
Then that's good. That's a good question. You know, so they have to be simple. And the reason is we're just testing what, Sanela? What are we testing?
her level of consciousness.
Well, what are we testing when we? Well, that's right. But what specifically? What is it we're trying to avoid?
We're trying to avoid her slipping into general anesthesia, which could be problematic in several ways. She may have to be intubated, so she has germs in her mouth, which may cause, with intubation, to go down into her throat.
Not with intubation. That's how you protect them.
Yeah, well, that's how you protect them, but it can also cause her to get pneumonia. So.
Right. You lose your protective airway.
Yes.
Right. So that those bugs that are good in your mouth and they're good bugs, or become bad bugs when they find their way down your trachea, your windpipe, into your lungs. Right.
Yeah.
And so when you before you get into the state of general anesthesia, where you lose, what happens? You lose what? What do you lose?
When you can't answer questions, is that what you mean?
No. There's a disconnect between your hearing
And your brain.
and your brain.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why you're asking the questions.
Yes.
All right. So walk through the 3 stages of awareness.
And okay, we record 3 levels of awareness. +1 means she's being chatty, she's having a conversation, she's talking with you, and she's also responding to one of your 5 questions. Then there's +2, which means she's less verbal, but she still can answer your question. So if she's, taking a nap, but she answers your question without hesitation, that's a +2. Then +3 is what we want to watch out for. That's when she only responds to simple commands, which Amanda didn't change. But that's actually when you want to, when she's asking, she may ask, where am I? Or she's not even responding to the question, or she's very slow. She may act confused, saying, what's going on? What's happening to me? So that's why you're here, to reassure it's okay and make sure she answers one of the questions. And again, if she's not responding at all, you want to try and tap her forehead.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and if that doesn't work, go ahead and press the button and we'll come in here.
But we document that as a 3, a +3.
Yes, you can document as a +3. Whatever it is, when you ask her the question every 15 minutes, record it as it is, but we'll come in here and make sure it's not at that level.
Okay.
All right. You didn't get it right. So let's get it right.
Okay.
Okay. Level 1. She's chatty.
Yes.
She's chatty because we're not impairing her cognitive function. Okay. So she's talking about. She can comment about anything. You can comment about
The lower dosage?
Yeah. So she's chatty, but there's going to come a point where she's going to become so cognitively impaired she's not going to offer anything, but she will comment. She may comment or she may not, but she's just not chatty anymore because she's impaired. It's too much work to think, and that's called a 2. Now, what she said is not accurate. She may comment about, oh, she doesn't know where she's at. No, that's still a 2. We're testing when we ask those questions to make sure she does, if she's going to be a 3 or not. And the 3 is what? When you ask her what happens when you ask her what her mother's name is. What happens?
She may not respond because there's a disconnect
Right.
between her
And
brain.
what typically happens? She doesn't respond means she may not be hearing anything, right?
Yep.
So there could be.
So that's not the point.
You can repeat the question.
You can repeat. Well, look. If she's not responding, you got to give her a tap. She may be sleeping, okay?
Yeah.
So you get her attention, then you say, what is your mother's name? And typically, what's the response when they're not connecting to their brain?
They may just ask what. Just.
All right, get it straight. One or two things, and only one or two things will happen. They'll say, what? To the question, what her mother's name is. Or they'll sit there and repeat the question. They'll go, what's my mother's name? What is my mother's name? Okay?
Right.
You got it?
Yes.
And they need to know that. They need to know what to expect, right? All right,
Yeah.
you got that?
Yeah.
All right. Now, all right, we got through that part of it. Now, the other part of it is there anything that can suddenly happen? You got to alert them. If something would scare them, you got to alert them about it, right? What would frighten them? Go ahead.
She can have a hallucination.
Yeah. So why is that? Why can that be so sudden? What happens?
She may be sleeping and then all of a sudden she...
No, what happens is just like somebody having a nightmare. I'm sure you've had them if you're a normal person, but I'm not sure you are. So you wake up and you look around, you're startled, you're looking around, and they see, and this is another reason why you're by the bedside, and probably the most important reason. She looks around, she's frightened, she sees you, and she knows your voice, she knows what you look like, and that'll settle her down immediately. It's called creature comfort. If I'm sitting there, she'll look at me and go, who in the hell are you? All right? So that's the reason why we do it that way. So you're going to watch this video so you get this stuff absolutely ironed down.
Yep.
Solid.
I'm improving though.
Yeah, you're improving. Boy, but you're slow, man. Slow. Okay. Any questions? Any questions about any of this?
No, I think we got it, right?
Got it nailed?
I think we got it.
All right.
Every
Okay, very
15
good.
minutes.
All right, you got a call button right here. Okay, when you hit that button, you're going to hear a sound that goes all over the institute. Okay, listen. You hear that sound? You hear it?
Yeah.
Now, the only way we can turn that sound off is we have to come into the room and we have to touch the button over here like this.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can't turn it off. So you'll get our attention. And you need to understand that there'll be 3 people coming in at once, even though you have a simple question like, can we blow her nose?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And we shouldn't feel uncomfortable.
No.
Okay.
That's what it's there for.
Okay.
You have a question or whatever. Okay. And what I want you to understand is that we have a policy that 3 people, all of us, come in at once.
Fine.
Don't let us scare you. Okay. Got it?
Got it.
All right. Okay. The mother here at Sanela was asking what to expect over the next 3 days as far as the amount of ketamine she's getting. So explain to them what's going to happen here.
Today's day 1, which Dr. Kirkpatrick refers to as wine tasting day. So it's just introducing her to the ketamine at first, and for the most part, she should not hallucinate since she's just getting used to it. On day 2 and 3, it's definitely a higher possibility since her dosage will go up as the day increases, and
That's pretty much it, right? So you don't want to rush these patients. You rush them, and it's unpleasant. Okay. It's like if you've never tasted wine before, okay, and now you're tasting wine for the first time, and somebody gives you some wine that's spoiled. Guess what? I doubt you're ever going to drink any wine later on in life.